Hey guys, Monarch Synchro here, bringing you another episode of my Yu-Gi-Oh tips. This time I'm gonna focus more on a little bit more advanced things that you should guys think about when you're playing a match. Hopefully this helps you obviously win more matches and make more smart plays so that you can I don't know, like I said, win more matches and always be one step ahead of your opponent. So let's get started. One thing that I want to talk about is and that I see a lot of like unexperienced players do is that, like, let's say it's first turn of the match and your opponent went first, then it's like your turn. Your opponent has like one back row and one monster, and like let's say they're an experienced player, like they draw like they think what they think is a good hand. So what they usually do is like they go heavy storm to try to get rid of the back row because they're scared of like a bottomless or something like that, and then they go all out. Like if they say they're playing Black Wings, they go like Soroku, and then they go special Bora, and then they like attack, and then they go Kalu. Like pretty much they deplete their whole hand in like one turn, and they think, oh, I did like a good move because I have all this field presence, but it cost me my whole hand. That's what they don't realize. So what I'm here to tell you is conserve your cards. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has pretty much become like a +1 +2 game where like if you have a +1 or a +2 on your opponent, you're in good shape. And that's pretty much now like the whole point of the game, to keep field presence and at the same time keep hand advantage over your opponent. So you always want to waste the least amount of cards on your side of the field and in your hand to get rid of the most cards that your opponent has. So you always want to get, like, let's say if your opponent has 3 back row and you heavy storm, that's pretty much a +2. If your opponent does not activate their back rows, you just minus them by 2 and it only costs you 1 card. That's what they mean by +2. So basically, what you want to do is that you never want to make like reckless plays where you overcommit. You pretty much fill your whole field with monsters, and you end up with no cards in hand, and then you like attack, and they go threatening roar, and then next turn they go lightning vortex, and then you pretty much lose after that because they have like 4 cards in hand and you have 0. So you want to avoid those kind of things in Yu-Gi-Oh, because obviously that'll just make you lose way too quickly. So what I'm here to tell you is conserve your cards. Never go all out, especially if it's like first 2 turns of the match, like, and it's barely getting started. Get a feel of your opponent, like see what their deck is, because obviously going into like the second match, you want to know what to side in against your opponent. And if you only got like a glimpse of 2 cards, then you won't know what you're facing, and most likely they'll know what you're running, and they'll like side in perfectly against you. So avoid that. And another situation that I see a lot of like inexperienced players do is like, let's say the unexperienced players playing like Black Wings, and they have a Bora, and your opponent has like a back row, and it was like second turn or whatever. Like the unexperienced player played that and left it on the field, and then let's say the experienced player, the other player, they just set like a torrential, and they just pass turn, thinking that they're gonna just summon another monster and attack. What I see the Black Wing unexperienced player do most of the time is that they draw, and then they go like whirlwind, and then they just go Bora right away, like a Bora or a Shura right away. And like what they don't just take into consideration is that their opponent might have a torrential tribute, and that they can just get screwed over. I mean, if you don't have a My Body, there's no reason for you to go Whirlwind Shura or Whirlwind whatever you're gonna go. If you don't have something to protect that play, if you don't have something to back that up, because that way you will be going -2 right there, or -1. So first of all, like if you see that your opponent is not summoning monsters, most likely they're gonna want you to summon more monsters so that they can plus you out with either a Torrential or a Mirror Force. So what you want to do is conserve your cards. First, declare an attack, and if they let it go through, that's a free 17. And instead of going World with Shura, you would have just gone -2. Your monsters would have gone been rid of, and you wouldn't have been able to get that 1700 damage for free. So what you want to do is get that 17 in, and then if you think that your opponent doesn't have Torrential, or if you check their graveyard and they have Torrential there, go Whirlwind Sure afterwards, because they might have a Mirror Force. You never know. So what you want to do is conserve your cards, play smart, don't overcommit. Always remember to, if you have a monster and they don't, and they have one back row, and you check their graveyard and no torrential, and no mirror fours are in the graveyard, then always go for that free 17, free 17. Make them summon a monster and try to do something about this monster. Do not let yourself be that wide open. So that's like pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Play your cards conservatively. Don't go all out. That's pretty much the whole thing that I see unexperienced Yu-Gi-Oh players do. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. If you want me to if you have a deck list that you want me to help you out with, maybe, just PM it to me, and I'll just let you know like some of the fixes that you should make and stuff like that. So yeah, if you like my videos, remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.